Hi Samuel, thank you for joining me on this follow-up on your trading game.
Hi, Gabriel. Thanks for having me.
Different traders adapt to the same future systems to their specific needs. Now, you attended the last year futures workshop, and there's a very specific way that you have set up your trading game. If I would put a label on you, well, I would call you the trading industry expert. You live in Switzerland, you are a super trader, and you are full-time trading from home. You are a very seasoned trader, investor, and you are a former hedge fund employee. You've worked for a CTA, commodity trading advisor, well, who trades fully mechanical futures systems, right? You have more than 15 years experience in the hedge fund industry, lately as a funds director, and you've got more than 25 years of experience trading fully mechanical systems. So one can really say that you are the trading industry expert, which is why it's so interesting to talk with you. You being a mechanical systems expert, how did you get interested in rule-based discretionary trading at all?
So I think there are several reasons why I did that. Well, first of all, I wanted to learn something I never did before. I think that's challenging and interesting for me. I think there are some specific advantages for discretionary systems. I believe the results can be much better than purely mechanical systems. And it's also more flexible than purely mechanical systems. Just as an example, I must take every single trade in my mechanical systems, no matter what, in my daily charts. And for the discretionary systems you teach, I'm way more flexible. For example, on vacation or on weekends, I have more flexibility, and I like that a lot.
So is this the first real rule-based discretionary system you've been trading, or did you try others before?
It's the first one I've ever touched. Yes.
Okay, well, great.
Yeah.
Okay, so well, let's talk about your trading game. It's very specific because you've got a very systematic and robust scanning process. So how do you scan the markets for opportunities?
Every single hour, I check the 5-minute trends. And then every 2 hours, I check the 15-minute trends, and so on. And I make sure I wouldn't miss a trend in between. And so with that, I can make sure that, at least in theory, I wouldn't miss any trade. And I think that's my mechanical trader part that influences this technique. But I kind of I like it, and it gives me a good feeling, and it feels like trading a mechanical system almost. And then when I get alarms, for example, then I can get into it, look at the charts, and decide, is this a high quality setup I like, or otherwise I would just dislike it. So it's pretty strict, and I monitor it very regularly.
Well, trading the future systems, we're coming from the trend first, right? And it's a top-down scanning approach. And you're basically scanning by the clock, right, for different time frames. And you've set up these times for you to follow, basically, so you don't miss a pattern and a good trend.
Exactly. And for me, that seemed like a shortcut in the work I need to do to scan the market and catch interesting trends. And I use that, and it fits me. And that's why I like it and do it.
Okay. Well, your next thing that stands out in your trading game is that you focus on really very high quality trades, right? And it might be, so you're trading the lower time frames, that you only have like 3, 4, or 5 trades per week, but you're focusing on the very best trades. So how do you do that?
Whenever I can increase the stability of the performance or of our results, I'm more than happy to do whatever it takes. And when I learned from you that the quality is very important in this strategy, of course, I applied that immediately. And I really like it, because that's my focus. And I believe I understand that stability is more important, at least for me, than lots of trades or lots of R, because the more stable the results are, the more aggressive position sizing strategy I can apply, or the easier I can achieve my goals.
Yeah, great.
And the way I do it, is, yeah, I just check for the negatives of every single setup, and whenever it has more than 2 negatives, in my opinion, I let it go.
Yeah, okay, great. Yeah, well, it's beliefs based, right? Your belief is that you want high stability, high consistency in your result. And this is how you can actually achieve, right? Letting go a lot of trades that fit the rules, that are maybe good quality, but they don't fit your quality standard, right?
I agree, it's belief based, and I think if you have adopted this belief, it's relatively easy.
Right. Well, you trade your beliefs about a market, right, and about a system. Good example. Yeah. So what are the time frames you trade? I think you trade various lower time frames. So what are they?
So actually, I started from 15 seconds to 60 minutes. And interestingly, I had the best results in simulation and with real money in 15 seconds. Nevertheless, I dropped it because it took too much time for me to scan it systematically. So right now, normally I would trade from 1 minute and up, but right now I have many other projects going in parallel. So I trade 5 minutes and up to 60 minutes.
So how many days per week do you trade?
Well, my intention is to monitor all the trends every day. But right now, I would say I do it maybe 4 days a week.
And when you have found an opportunity, I mean, do you use alarms at all?
Absolutely. So alarms are essential for me, and I use many different kinds of alarms. I also use time alarms on my iPhone. I use price alarms on NinjaTrader. I use some other alarms on TradingView. So many different kinds of alarms, and it's super important for me in order to monitor everything.
Right. And that way you don't have to stalk permanently, right? The alarm takes care of it, and then you can look scanning for other opportunities.
Yes, exactly. And I can scan more intense when I see that a lot is going on and it's very interesting and there's lots of opportunity. And when I see there's no many trends and it's relatively boring, I do other stuff. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Great. Yeah. After the workshop, we went through a trader development process, right? What was interesting about you is that you had very good, consistent results, like from the very early beginning, right? When we started doing simulated trades, and then as well, you continued with very consistent, good results in the demo environment. Would you like to talk about that?
So first we started with this simulation software, which was not so realistic in my opinion, but was very useful to learn it. Then I moved on to live simulation, and I felt like this was very realistic. And I have lots of experience with back testing and how you can lie to yourself and stuff like this, and program and backtesting software and so on. So I really had the feeling it was super realistic because I traded right at the moment and had incredible results. Like I've never experienced that before in such a short time. At the end of LMP, I had an SQN of almost 4, in times above 4, which is just amazing. And then I started with real money right away, but just small amounts. And then the first 10 trades or so, my SQN was almost at 3. I missed, for example, one very good trade, which would have given me 5R. So I still do some mistakes in live trading. My intention is now to get the same results like I had in the simulation, and then increase the position size.
Mm-hmm. With the other fully mechanical systems you're trading, what is an SQN you get there? Just to get comparison.
Yeah, I mean, for example, last year I had a fantastic year for one strategy. I think it was above 4, but it's not above 4 in the long term. I would say it's probably more around 2.5 for the systems I trade. And mechanical systems, I'm already happy with 2.0, because the SQNs of mechanical systems tends to be not as high as the discretionary systems are.
So you seem to be really happy with these future systems, right? They're rule-based discretionary. So how does that fit into the other fully mechanical systems you trade?
I think it's really a different approach, which also means that it's a real diversification from the other strategies. And it's also completely different tasks for my brain, I feel. So it's really like another a completely different strategy. And yeah, I think it fits really well. The most important in different strategies is you want to have low correlation, right? And completely independent strategies. And I have that, and completely different approach, which cannot just be programmed by some computer guy. And yeah, I like it.
Yeah, well, we're trading visual price patterns, right, in the futures market. What do you specifically like about the rules or the patterns of these three systems? Because, I mean, they're counterintuitive, right, in a way.
Yes, right. Well, but first, I also like that it's trend following. That fits me a lot. I really like the multi-time frame approach. I've never used it that intensely so far. I like it a lot. It's very, very useful. And yes, you're right that the counterintuitive approach is really it's really nice. It's also kind of, it feels good. So to get in right when most of the traders are really confused about what's going on, whether they are the bears or bulls, and yeah, it's good. Yeah?
It's fun, especially if you know how it feels like when you're on the other side.
Yeah, and I've experienced that a lot.
Right. Well, everybody knows that if you're stuck in a trader trap, it's not that nice to be. Okay, so how important was after the workshop, how important was the trader development process? Like we applied the principles of deep practice with the goal of having exponential skill growth, right? Learning really fast these systems. So how important do you think was that?
So for me, who has never traded discretionary systems before, it was really essential. It was super important. Otherwise, I'm sure I would never have been able to trade those systems successfully at all. You have to really ingrain it into your brain and really understand what those words really mean in the real life and in trading. So it was super important. And I think no matter how much experience you have, I think there is no shortcut around that.
It's a little bit like learning a new language, right? Or a new sports or whatever.
Absolutely. No matter how many languages you talk already, like you need a good approach.
Yeah. Okay. So, what are your next goals now, or next steps you want to achieve?
Yeah. Well, so right now I'm very focused on Super Trader Professional. I aim to finish this by the end of this year. So that takes a lot of my time going forward. Nevertheless, I want to keep trading 5 minutes and up and increase my position size as my SQN goes up. And once I'm risking 0.5%, then I will do a review and a Monte Carlo simulation and come up with a new position sizing strategy, and then really scale it.
So you mentioned that you're increasing your position size, right? Trading higher and higher risk. Well, the requirement for that is to have consistent results, right? And this is what you have. So now you can actually work on the biggest leverage, which is increasing the position size, right? You use position sizing to meet your objectives, basically. So that's great. Yeah, that's fantastic.
And you gave me a great idea on how to do that. Actually, I never thought of that, but I really liked that approach, to start off with really small money and then increase it with that idea you gave me. It's really really great. I like that.
Yeah, because there's a saying that you have to earn the rights to trade big, right? So you basically trade small, and it already has some psychological impact. But the bigger your position size becomes, well, the more psychological impact there is, and then you might need to clear some beliefs, right? And work a little bit on yourself. But you're a super trader student, so you know what needs to be done. Do you have any recommendations for somebody now who's listening, who's starting out?
Yes, absolutely. And I prepared myself a little bit for that question. I think it's an important question, and I put some thoughts into it. What I would suggest to someone starting out is, like, from a big picture perspective, if you really want to trade for a living for the next few decades and you're really serious, I would really strongly suggest to do the Super Trader program. And then risk extremely small amounts until you get really great results with an SQN of at least 2. And once you have that, apply a position sizing strategy according to the Van Tarp's teachings. And if you want the best shortcut to all that, so instead of doing the Super Trader program, then I would suggest that you take all the classes that you, Gabriel, teach. But it's really important to do all the classes, I mean, futures or Forex, and this can work out as well.
Okay, well, thank you very much for that feedback. That's a great plan laid out, right, for everybody. Okay, good. Thanks a lot, and
thank you, Gabriel.
Say hi to Switzerland. Bye bye.
Okay, bye bye. Thanks a lot.
Bye.